Good. Hope. Going on. We were here this time last year. It's hard that it's crazy to think that we've already, it's always already a year later. I can remember, last year's CES. Tell me, how has it been since then?
It has been a crazy year. I think we had lots of leads coming from pretty much very various industries. First, we really work on the mobility. Mobility market is very strong. We've been in Japan with the Shinkansen because they want it, which is a bullet train, because people want to make holes in train. We have been to working with the army also because they're interesting for the SWAT teams. Gamers came to us because when you lose a game and you start to be very cranky about it, the whole world is going to collapse at 2 morning because you wake up everybody. So everybody has different issue, but voice pollution, with the hybrid works we have been working on is something that people really consider as a very serious threat. Sorry, it's just that today we jump from 3 calls a week to 40 calls a week. So the hybrid workers, 92 million American, have to make calls everywhere. How many times we have to move around here just to make an interviews, just to find the very quiet place and not to have somebody talking on the back door and so on. This is our life. This is a life of the hybrid workers, and we're here to fix it with the SKYTED mask.
Excellent, excellent. And I know we were talking about it, briefly in terms of just the journey. I mean, you touched on some of it now, but just the journey of SkyTed and where it's been, since last year. I know you were commenting on like the Kickstarter and all that. So, could you share, please?
Yeah, last year was a real POC. We arrived with a French ID. We integrate sound absorbing. You can find them here on the product. Sorry, this part away. You see the tiny holes is what you find in the inlet coal of the jet engines. And we team up with we're backed by Airbus and by the European Space Agency, and we work on how to integrate this technology of some absorber for the jet engine into a mask and drop by 25 to 35 dB the voice, which make it very, very quiet. So now the technology is here. The design is great. I think you can see it from here. You can wear it. So that's mean you can make silent calls pretty much everywhere. So we've just launched a Kickstarter on the 8th, first day of the show. We have more than 400 interviews. So I think it's great worldwide. The project has been really doing very well. The show has been doing very well for us. So that's mean you can buy it on SkyTED. You go to our it's communication in silence. This is our motto. We are the only ones to be on this kind of business orientation, and you can buy it on the Kickstarter, and it's going to be delivered on Q4 2024.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And one other thing that I wanted to, discuss before we, get into the demo. I mean, you had demonstrated it before, but I want to, get, the entire process. I know that there also is another component with what you have with the mask that I guess you can, customize, right? With what you have on the mask. So, can you share about that of what can be placed here on the front?
Yeah, we're working on 2025 to have an OLED kind of front cover. So people, at least today on plastics, they will be able to customize it. You can put your own product, and you can have your own view. let's say in 2025 we want to have LEDs. So for gamers, you will be able to play different games you are playing in, or give a different story. And to for influencers, esport, people can talk in the team, and still it's going to be very colorful and playful. Because when you look at the mouse, you always look at the lips, because you do lips reading at the same time. So the habits of really looking very straightforwardly to the mouse will bring that. You're gonna have the TV and the expression, and people are going to be able to communicate between in the esport together, and they're not going to be to give their strategy to the competitors. So I think it's wise for them to be protected in their communication, and wise also to communicate with the mask.
Excellent, excellent. So I know you were showing it just a moment ago. So, can you talk a bit about that process? I see there's a strap there, so I'm assuming that that you do have the option to kind of adjust it accordingly. But if you care to demonstrate for us.
Yeah, definitively. We have different solutions depending of where you want to wear it. If it's for the army, it's going to be completely different headset, but it's just a mask. You see, it's quite thin. You have some here. You can have the direct air access, so you can breathe in through, just like a jet engine. There is no membranes, no foams, nothing in between your lips and the outside world. So the air is going out, but the sound is being trapped. This is the beauty of it. So I'm making a demo right now, just for you to see it. So if I give you my earphones, this is what we do our booth. And one more time, we have lots of videos on our YouTube channel, SKYTED Official. You can find that today it's pretty easy to make calls in a train. Here it's a very quiet environment, but on a train, on everywhere, it's very noisy. You can talk normally, and this is now not only a mask, but this is a complete new experience. We want to say this is our vision. Our vision is that people now in traveling is not something nasty that where you're losing time. It's something where you can work, you can talk, you can do your emails, you can really be like in the office. And that's definitively something completely new, with that we are able to now to for the Amtrak network, for example, on the East Coast, people going from Washington to New York and New York to Boston. We have studied worldwide 15,000 miles of train track, Europe, Japan, in the US. And today, the bandwidth with Zoom, Google Meet, or Teams is great. Is working very well. So there is no issue today on this track. You can make with SkyTen mask, just buy one, and in a couple of months you will be able to make calls on your commuting time.
Awesome, awesome. So, and I feel like that's a great segue into just the applications. You touched on so many applications and manners in which, the mask could be utilized. But, I'm just curious, have there been even, more surprises in that, in your time of developing the mask, of unexpected applications or parties that have, reached out in taking advantage of its uses?
Well, mobility is big. Many airlines came to us and said now people want to work, do a Zoom or team calls on board, and that's part number one. So we work really on the complete setup for airlines, and we are backed by Airbus, so we have good connection, of course, in the OEMs of our aircraft like Boeing and Airbus. The second one is going to be the medical part. For people, for example, autistic, for the autist who have autism, and we're starting to scream when they're playing because they have tried to cope with their emotions and so on. This mask may be able to help them to communicate on a better way, because if you start to scream on a very open place, that might be difficult. So we have lots of touching letters and emails from parents who said, can you think this can apply to our kids? So we create a ESG division on our side to do a very social work for kids who cannot write, can stay in the classroom, for people who have the La Tourette syndrome, start to shout, in the middle of the opera, and they have lots of issue with, I will say, common shows or and so on. You might disturb the whole show if you start to scream. So for all those people, we try to develop a kind of application, and we see if that's going to fit. But yeah, I think voice is a noise. Voice today is a noise pollution. Is something coming from other people. We have been in our house during COVID for months at 30 dB, very quiet. Now it's really something which is really a problem, and we can solve that with it.
Absolutely, because I mean, I could just think of offhand, and I'm sure I have a lot of friends out here who are, parents, whether they have toddlers or they have newborns out there, and making sure that they do not wake, those, said kids, if they are newborns, and how delicate a process that is. I can automatically see you're going to be a lifesaver for them. And then even thinking in other contexts of other fields, perhaps like with. I think we were talking about it previously, like even with music and like musical performances and theater performances with the crews that are often, doing their magic behind the scenes that, have to be able to communicate with each other. I was a theater major, so I know this, stage management, being able to communicate with, scene changes and all of that stuff behind the scenes. I don't know if they have reached out as of yet, but I have a feeling they're gonna come knocking on your door.
Exactly. For everybody who has to be on stage and they have to talk and make sure that their voice is not going to be picked up by microphone, and you can still talk to your team. That's definitively a given. We had Stevie Wonder yesterday. We come to our booth and he try it with his crew and so on, and we're puzzled like, wow, that's such a nice guy. He came, he tested it with the headphone and give it to the other guy, and we talk a little bit about music and all the application we could get on that. So, and the crew was wow, because you can hear and nobody can hear around it, and even if they put their head very close to it. Very nice guy, very very great experience.
So you were talking about it before, and I want to put this up in terms of availability. You said at the end of this year, with the mask that we have that we're seeing in front of us, will be available, but also the LED one that you were mentioning.
Yeah, it's going to be
Um,
2025. That's we'll just launch the ID here, but we have a great success here. So we are going to push it for next year. Just put it. It's going to take a little bit more time of integration. We want to be a very light, 250 grams, 220 grams. So we want to keep the product very light. Definitively, it's on Kickstarter. It's right now. People can have very early birds. We have a couple of them for just for the show, so they can just go on the Kickstarter SkyTED page. So SkyTED is very easy. It's like to do a TED talk in the sky. That's what the idea when I left Airbus to create this company was how 300 passengers can make a call at the same time. Today, the product is here. It takes 3 years of hard deep tech R&D, and we're here, and people can buy it on Kickstarter. I will go to skyted.io for more information.
Cool. Well, there you guys have it. Again, I want to thank Stephane for hopping back on a year later and talking about all the cool stuff that they have going on with SkyTED. I'm your host Brandon Choi, also co-creator of Movers and Shakers Unlimited. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be safe out there, and I'll see you soon. Bye.